we grow up with movies. I mean, Disney is one of them, and then we have all sorts of other Hollywood movies. It's like this is you get married and then you live happily ever after. But no. My grandmother already told me when I was little. She said, you know what? The moment I said, oh, I'm in love with this boy and I like this boy and yeah, this kind of stuff. And then she said, she took me on a lap and she said, you know, I'll teach you something. And she says, the moment you meet someone you like and he likes you, that's when the real work starts.
Hello everybody, welcome to first episode of S-Wow series. The Strongest Woman of the World is a global talk show where we celebrate strength and achievements of women from all over the world. Simply realize the fact that if they decide not to give birth, the total human existence will cease. But that is simply one of their divine strengths and contribution to the mankind. Women are achieving extraordinary feats in everything that they choose to pursue. It is time to bring such inspirational stories out in the world so that many more women and girls will choose to find their strength and achieve whatever they wish. Bear in mind, this entire show is non-scripted, heart to heart. And today's guest is Mrs. Happiness and human behavior specialist from Netherlands. And Netherlands need no introduction as it is consistently in the top 10 countries in the world in happiness index. She has been doing a great deal of work to empower women and youth and traveling all over the world. In fact, her organization, Life Engineer, is all women organization. All stakeholders, including employees, clients, and any services are all from women. She is a TEDx speaker, energy expert, happiness coach, NLP Master, and an international speaker with over 22 years of personal development and research experience. I bet you give any problem to her, she instantaneously projects the best possible solution. Also, she's simply a joy junkie and full of energy. She calls everyone in the world a multilingual, and that common language is smile. Help me to introduce Jenn from Netherlands. How are you doing, Jenn?
Hey Rajesh, so happy to be here. Thank you very much for the invitation and thank you very much to be doing this together. I'm very much looking forward to what is coming. Thank you.
Wow. First of all, it's amazing to have you on the show and also on the first episode of this Wow series. Yeah!
I feel so honored to be here and to do this together. Yeah.
And before we really go forward into it, I want to ask this question about, there seems to be, again, the kind of a difference between how people should treat women or girls. But my question to you is, how women should treat themselves first? I mean, what is your thought process?
Oh, Rajesh, I love that you start on that end because that's my thing. This is where it starts for us women, and we tend to forget because we tend to be part of the plan of someone else, particularly our husband or whatever. And and not only as married women, being part of the plan of someone else, but we also become plan of someone else in a company, in a endeavor that we're in. We're part of something else, but it actually starts with us. It starts from the inside out. What is your own plan, darling? What's your own plan? What is your mission? What is your thing that makes your heart pound? What is the thing that makes your blood rush through your veins? What is the thing that makes you come alive? Because it starts with you. And when it starts with you, then it starts with you is in taking 100% responsibility for you. Taking 100% responsibility for you and yourself makes that from there on you can experience true freedom. And it starts from, as you said, taking care of yourself. It seems like at times we women are like princesses waiting to be rescued, like a damsel in distress or something. And we are taught that way in many areas of movies and whatever. It's like we need to be rescued. We are a queen.
Yeah.
And it does not need to
Absolutely.
be rescued, right? Queens do not need to be rescued. No, but feeling a queen and remembering we are queens that's where it starts. And this is where treating yourself first. It's not egocentric or egoistic or anything. It's ego self.
Yeah.
Because if I don't have enough, how can I share? If I'm tired and exhausted, how can I share?
Yeah.
If I'm not taking care of myself, how can I share? I cannot. So it has to start with ourselves, to take care of ourselves first. And then it comes from there.
Wow, this is really true. Actually, I mean, it is true to such an extent because many of the people out there, like you said, they're waiting to be rescued. That is how their natural behavior is. And I mean, let me ask you, right? What is the role of these movies which play like, pretty much all the time? You see the girls are rescued, but in real life, I'm seeing so many women out there who are actually kind of not just queen, they're really kind of really powerful emperors who are literally ruling their industries or everything that they choose from. What is the role of movies that you think, they should change to bring that perspective differently?
See, movies, we grow up with movies. I mean, Disney is one of them, and then we have all sorts of other Hollywood movies. It's like this is, you get married and then you live happily ever after. But no. My grandmother already told me when I was little, she said, you know what? The moment I said, oh, I'm in love with this boy and I like this boy and yeah, this kind of stuff. And then she took me on her lap and she said, I'll teach you something. And she says, the moment you meet someone you like and he likes you, that's when the real work starts. Don't be fooled by any kind of movie that tells you that when you are married, you're like happily ever after. That's when the real work starts. For you, she says, because you need to become you first. So my grandmother already told me this. And this is how it grows into it. So I cannot change the movies. I cannot change Disney. But what I can change is the perception we were brought up with. And just by sharing with you my story, what happened to me and why this is, because I got fooled into the trap as well. Because I felt, even though I had my grandmother along, I got into being part of a plan of someone else as well. And I stepped out of it because I noticed I was actually, everything around me was perfect. I had a big house, we had 2 big cars in front, we had like a true white picket fence, a dog, all those, everything to go with it. But I noticed that I was actually miserable inside. From the outside, it looked all pretty and beautiful, but I was miserable inside. And that's why I noticed that I was becoming part of a plan of someone else. Because it's like selling your soul to something, to someone, to an endeavor, anything else. But what about you? What's inside of you? What do you want to bring out? And that's the moment you get in touch with this, everything will fall into place. It's like magic when that happens. You can almost lean back and see it unfold, how it comes together. It's absolutely brilliant to see that happen. Yes.
Yeah. This is absolutely true. It is not just for women itself. It is to do with also a lot of men who kind of try to get raised in the shadow of somebody else. I mean, to a great extent, it happened to me as well. But for many years, I was under the shadow of my dad. Only when I actually broke the barriers and went out of the town, then I started realizing, hey man, world is different. There's something I need to learn. There is something I can go out and do there. And that brings me to a very, very important question, Jenn. What is your thinking process about, so many people are coming out saying that we need equal rights, right? I mean, what is your perception of, getting into that equal rights? Is that something that you really support, having an equal right?
Yes, here we go. That's a very good question. Like you said, unscripted and heart to heart. Here we go. So equal rights, yes and no. And I'll tell you why. Equal rights gives the perception and now I'm going to say it, the illusion that men and women are the same. And we are not. We are not.
Absolutely, we are not. Yeah.
Simply, we're not. I mean, men come from Mars and women come from Venus, like the brilliant book says.
Yeah.
We think different, we behave different, we feel different. We are, and now I'm exaggerating this as stating it black and white, but we are very different creatures, a woman and a man. That's why the bringing together of a woman and a man makes it amazing to watch and to experience, because there is energy coming together, and it's meant to come together. Like a Cherokee saying says, a woman is here on this earth to feel and to transmute feelings. A man is here on this earth to protect her. And he can feel his own feelings through the woman. How amazing is that? I mean, it's just, that's like one area of all of this. So it just by saying this, what this Cherokee saying means is that we are very different in how we perceive life, how we interact in life, and even how we interact with each other. I know from friends of mine, male friends, they see each other, they spend hours together, and they come back, and then you ask them, so how was it? How's his wife? How's his children? How's his house? How's the stuff, whatever coming together? He's like, don't know. Hang on a second. You spent hours with your friend and you have no idea. No, we went fishing. Why? For a woman, that's incredible. That's like, it's not even possible. The moment even before we meet, we like talk, and then we get together and we talk and we discuss everything, and it's like about everything. Because we are, as women, we are very much community creatures. Come together, we know everything about each other because we take care. That's where the mother instinct comes in. Even though I don't have children, but I still have that for my tribe, for my community, for the fellow women I have around me, is that I take care of them. I want to know how they are, if their things are right, what I can do for them, what their preferences are. This is like a community thing that's happening. And this is what we women are good at, but we forget, or we are discredited for it. So if you say that like coming back to your question that you said, is it gender equal? No. Does it need to be? No. But it can be more equal. That's true. Because now there's a disbalance in it. And having a disadvantage is not fair. That's what it is. So, it's like saying to a fish, climb this tree. And then the fish says, well, I can't climb the tree. Okay, fish, then you're stupid and you get less pay than a monkey because the monkey is better in climbing a tree. But is a fish made to actually climb a tree? No, he's not. So coming back to it, what my idea vision would be is that everybody in their specific design can do what they're good at. And therefore the whole community would work way better because we do what we are made for, what we're good at, what our heart feels right, what sparks joy. And the moment it sparks joy, you don't do work anymore. You enjoy what you do. And then you're way more productive, way more interested in what you do. And then everybody gets its position in the machine that it works perfectly.
Yeah.
While when you do what you are supposed to be doing or told to be doing or think you should be doing it, then you're taking up the position of someone that it's actually their spark of joy. But the moment you follow your own spark of joy, then you get into the place of the machine and it just oils, it's just perfect how it all runs. And that's where the equality comes in. That's where the sameness comes in, because we all follow the spark of joy that's inside of us. And then we talk the same language.
Wow, this is brilliant. Finally, it has come to the most fundamental ingredient called joy. Joy beyond gender. I love this. Yeah. And in fact, on this, one time actually, my kids' school, they organize kind of guest lectures, and for some reason, they just identified, hey, Rajesh, can you please come and tell, something to our kids? So, one of the things I shared, maybe you can tell me whether it is okay or not, because it looks like it is pretty much in sync with what you're saying. I said, we should not, kind of dedicate, pink to a girl, blue to a boy, because I have a girl. She's going to be 7-year-old in, just a month's time. And every time she comes to me and says that, hey, pink is for girls, I say, no, it is not for girls. Pink is pink. That's it. And you don't need to just go by, what the general thing is telling. So I told about this particular thing called never ask for equal rights. That is how I'm raising my kid. Always ask for unique rights. You are unique in your own ways. Whether you're a boy or a girl, you are an artist or an engineer, it doesn't matter. You have a unique characteristics based on how you're evolving as a human being. Fight for it. What do you think? Should we even kind of bring in something like, unique rights and then, let people understand about that?
But that's what it is. And if you fight for equality, it seems like it has to be given to you. Then you ask for permission, you ask for someone else to shift, to change, whatever. So therefore it is equal. But then we come back to the beginning. It's 100% our own responsibility how we deal with life. So how can we create equality? No, but you can create your own uniqueness.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
To go. And that's something you do not have to ask from someone else. You can take 100% responsibility for your own uniqueness.
Absolutely. Yes. I totally agree. How do you think this next generation girls are, they can actually learn this in a most effective way about this unique rights instead of asking for, going out and asking, hey, I want equal rights. No, I'm unique. I want my rights. I want my space, right? Yeah. What is the most effective method that they can implement in their real life?
They don't even have to fight for the right of their uniqueness. They already have it.
Yeah.
It's already there. So it's just about reminding the new generation that it's already there. I was given this the moment I came in to this world. And then I was conditioned through my grandparents and through my parents and whatever, that I had to adapt to what society brings us. And within my generation, we started to unfold that and say, no, we're not going to do this. We're going to change it and whatever. And always the new generation comes in and wants to change it. So it comes from that area that you just have to remember that it's already there and that you have to unlearn what you have learned to come to the truth of who you are. Because the moment, like your daughter, when she's raised by you and your wife, but she has to learn some kind of values, things that you have to adapt to, how you deal with people around you, basic skills like how you address someone else. This is something you have to learn. And even though if you're a unique spirit, this is something you have to learn, how you deal with someone else. Kindness, gentleness, basic human interaction that we have with each other. But based on that one, you can remember who you are and dress and be and behave who you are without a disrespect to someone else. There's a difference in it. There's a discernment in it.
Wow. Okay, I think I got really this simplified a lot. Number one, be yourself and respect yourself. Yes. Number two, because you're unique, it doesn't give you a right to disrespect somebody else. So respect others, be kind and respect others. And three, the natural evolvement happens. So you be in your space, right? This is exactly where the problem happens, Jen. That's what I've seen even with, my kids' friends' parents, right? Generally, when they say, you're a man, you're a macho man, right? Like, you should not cry. Man, people, it's okay, man, to cry. I did a video on that. It's okay to cry. So,
human behavior. We are all humans. Humans cry. Therefore, men cry too. And it's like, and there's a difference between exactly what you're saying. you learn to respect yourself and remember who you truly are and start living just that. And therefore, the moment you respect yourself, you will by default respect others.
Yeah, true.
That's it. And if you start to respect yourself and your own feelings, and therefore tears, if you're male or female, it doesn't matter. Tears is the washing machine of soul.
Oh, wow.
I'm coming. It just flashes it all out. It just flashes it all out. It just washes it all away. It's just so wonderful to have them. And we are all humans, male or female, you're human. So let it come out. It's okay. It's okay. Yes.
I totally, can connect to it, because I was having that strong negative belief over 18 years or something like that. And I could say that recently, last year only, I happily cried. I happily cried because I didn't know. Only once I learned that, what is this damn, crying is crying, whether it's male or female. At the end of the day, I'm getting, tears. I didn't even know why I was crying. Something was getting kind of that feeling that I was crying. But see, this is where, like I said, I'm actually going back to that point of when this conditioning happens, either by parents or by the society around, they should find the courage to, shield themselves. My highest priority is the joy that I get from the things I do. And that's much beyond my gender, much beyond, the conditioning that somebody else is bringing. How do they exercise such strength so that, see, whether you like it or not, parents are going to condition you based on what they know. There's nothing wrong about it. They think.
And even on top of that, Rajesh, what it is, parents do the best they can at that moment. Yeah. They do. And even though if later on, 40 years on, whatever, I do not agree with how it happened, but at that time, they were doing their best they could for their kids. They are. And so did their grandparents for them. And so did their parents for them. They all did the best they could for the kids that they have. Yes.
So how do these, the next generation practice to, safeguard their space of practicing all their, always giving that respect and evolving?
Yes. Where it changed for me, Rajesh, is, and that's what I want to explain now, help remember, is where it changed for me is when I started doing my morning rituals. And my morning rituals are moments that are sacred for me at the moment now. I meditate in the morning, I write in the morning, I read in the morning. I have an hour that I just spend on me, on educating myself, on releasing whatever's going on remembering who I am, on connecting with me. And the moment I connect with me in whatever way you want to do it in the morning, this is how you start your day. And therefore, this is how you unfold you. And I have, 10 steps or something that I take in the morning. And mornings I don't do all. Sometimes I do one, sometimes I do all 10 of them. It doesn't matter. But what it comes back to for me is, and what I want to bring forth, is connect to yourself. Whatever you do, start the day or any moment in the day, reconnect to yourself. Through meditation, through writing, through art, through music, through everything that's non-academic actually is something that brings you back to you. The moment you start learning, you get something from the outside in, and then the conditioning happens. So it starts from the beginning, as in, who am I? Connect to that one. That's what it starts. Yes. And then it unfolds.
So every day, actually spend some time with yourself, right? First thing in the morning, to create the space and safeguard the space so that during the day, your be it your confidence or be it anything that you do, not too much conditioned by external factors, right?
Because I can't remember who I am. So therefore, the moment something is given to me, something is taught, something is happens from the outside, is that I can feel whether it fits to me and my uniqueness or not. Whether I want to adapt this, whether I want to research it, find out more about it, and then adapt it. But I can make a choice in this one. I don't have to take what is given to me. I can make a choice whether it fits, whether it sparks joy or not. Or whether I want to make it spark joy. That's something else you can do as well. But you can, because you have a basis, you can make a choice in it.
Wow, wow. I want to bring the same perspective. Now, we have really talked a lot about, girls and women, how they should treat themselves and how they actually kind of safeguard. What do men have to do to start with? Because, you have men in the capacity of fathers, boyfriends, grandfathers, and all these capacities, right? What do you think men should start change in which area so that this process will become really kind of foolproof?
Again, same thing. Connect to yourself. Connect to yourself.
Treating women in the aspect of how we treat the women, right? That is one area where we are talking really deep into.
Yes, I know. Yes, and I'll still come back to it. Even for you gentlemen, in any age, in any area, is come back to you. Remember to connect with you, because the moment you start to connecting with you means that you are taking care of you, and you're going to start to like yourself, because that's the only person you have to deal with 24/7. Start liking yourself. That's a good start, isn't it? And the moment you start liking yourself and you start from you, you will have a much nicer way to interact with someone else, because you start to interact nice with yourself.
Yeah.
So there's no way I can teach yes, I could, but it's like me teaching you, but this is not what this is about. This is about for you to find out what works for you, what is right, what fits to your unique character, support, being, what fits to your unique soul. And if it resonates with you, then take it on. Even though if you've been listening now to me and Rajesh for the past, 3/4 of an hour, and you go like, not sure, that's fine with me. It doesn't resonate with you. It's okay. If it does resonate with you, happy you're here, and come and stay on. And if you hear me say something and you go, not sure, go figure it out, do your research, and then come back again, see if it fits for you or not. But everybody has a choice with whatever is given to them. I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell men how to treat women differently, or I can't teach women how to be differently. But I can at least give them support in finding you again. And the moment you start being nice to yourself, you start being nice to someone else. That's how it works.
This is beautiful. The moment you are able to find your inner beauty, everything else is actually beautiful naturally.
Yes.
Wow.
And then I really can say it doesn't matter anymore. In the best way I can say it. So it doesn't mean that I'm neutral about this, or that I don't give a F. That's not what this is. But what it is for me, the moment it is, a friend of mine, she calls me how do you say this? A Teflon frying pan. You have a special layer in it that kind of, it glides off. Because something else that happens outside, the more you are connected with you, something outside does not concern you anymore.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And you get immune if someone else, for instance, the other day I was driving along in Amsterdam, and there was sort of a blockage in the street, and I wasn't quite sure what was going on. And there were two people having a fight. It was possibly a couple. There was a man and a woman having a fight next to a car, and the car door was open, and there was a kerfuffle going on between them. You could see him, and I could hear screams. I could hear words coming into my car. Usually what would happen is that you get concerned for the woman, for the man, for the car, for other cars. You can't do this. You're blocking the road. What's going on? What's happening here? Maybe I get a knot in my stomach because I'm worried about something, or it reminds me of a situation. And even all those words I've been using now, there's something happens inside of you because of something else outside is happening. I was driving there, I was watching this and was going, interesting what's going on here. And I just watched, but nothing happened inside of me, because there was no reason for me to step into the situation and change it. There was no imminent danger going on, otherwise I would have. the emotion that was going on between the two of them was their concern and not mine. And it like slided off because it wasn't of mine. It was not personally for me. It was for them.
Yeah.
And so therefore it shouldn't interact with me.
This is really, really important aspect that you're actually making here. I mean, as long as you're not letting every emotion to go in and process it, I mean, yes, if it is your personal emotions, yes, you definitely need to process. But as you gave in that example, there is absolutely no need for you to connect your emotions to it. And I mean, like, it's like gates, right? Emotion gates. And only if you open, if you allow it to come in. Otherwise, you close it, saying that, yeah, right now, I don't have any role to play. I don't have any connections with the, high emotions or whatever is going. Then life is a lot more happy and easy to take forward, right?
Yes, that's it. And also is the moment you connect to yourself first in the morning, you can choose whether you open the gates or not.
Yeah.
And it makes it way easier to go through life, literally.
Wow. Okay, this is a brilliant point actually too. So you practice to create the gates around you in the morning. Through the day, you decide or you choose whether to open the gates or not.
Yes, correct. And even on top of this, Rajesh, I don't create gates. I don't have a fence around me. I don't have a gate around me. I don't. I'm just me. But I choose what I let into my soul. I stand guard at my own mind. Because only I can be who I am and connect with who I am. Nobody else can tell me who I am. I can feel myself. I can feel who I am and what sparks joy for me. And if something indeed hits me or gets through my gates without me being there, being properly engaged, it just happens and go, ooh. And then I get excited because then something triggers me. And if something triggers me, I know that there's still something that needs to be addressed, taken care of, and healed.
Yeah.
So I get excited if something triggers me. I'm like, oh, nice, I can do something else. Because then I get even more, when I get these triggers, feel through them, I can connect even more to myself, figure out what's going on. Because they're all signs in the road. Every emotion, every trigger is a sign in the road. We don't need gates anymore. We don't need fences anymore. We don't have to protect ourselves. No, the protection, there is no need for protection the moment you are you. The moment you are, it's fine.
This is brilliant. See, I can only tell all of you audiences, this one point is $1 million worth. Only you can live your life. First of all, I want to say, Jenn, thank you so much for sharing all your perspectives and your personal life story in bringing out such an important message.
I'm so happy to be here. And there's one thing I wanted to add at the end is, if you fall, try everything you can. And if you fall, get back up again, set that crown right, and keep walking. That's it. Thank you. That's all you need to do. And keep it going.
This is brilliant. So every one of you, if you're not yet subscribed, make sure to subscribe and click that like button and also share with everybody who can take this message and make an impact in their lives. Because don't sit out there, you're not alone. You're together with so many more people. Let's make this world a beautiful place together. I would say thank you everyone for tuning in and
see you next time.
See you in the next episode. Bye.